And hello, are we live? Yes, we're live. Okay. OBS just complained to me about something, but I don't think it matters. Can you hear me? Can I hear me? Let me see if I can hear me. Just a moment, please.
But I don't think it matters. Can you hear me? Can I hear me? Let me see if I can hear you.
Okay, that is horrid. Let's fix that. I want to disable. And we're back, and hopefully you can hear me now. Oh, people, can you hear me? Hopefully you can hear me now. Oh, people, can you hear me? Hopefully. And now I know, and now I know, and now I know, and now I know that you can hear me. Alright. So that's that. We are audible at least. There is sound. I'm glad there is sound. That makes me happy. It might be better if sound wasn't costing 20% of my CPU, particularly the last 10% that I have left. But it's fine, it doesn't matter. I don't even care, it's okay. So anyway, we are back on Xorg again, and this is StumpWM. It took me ages to get these fonts working. I had to just beg on Mastodon for someone to help me, and someone did actually. So that was nice. Anyway, we don't care about this buffer. Or that buffer. I was trying to delete some OBS config settings to get it to work. It took me like 20 minutes. Anyway, by the way, I can tell just from my face cam that the frame rate right now is very low. And there is a reason for that, which I'll get into in just a moment. But first, let's get some music going. This is the first Google result. Sorry, this is the first YouTube result for royalty-free breakcore that does not. That is like over an hour long and actually has royalty-free in the tags. So if it's not royalty-free, then the uploader is just a liar. And we're gonna have to deal with that. And I have a TV remote because what is up there is just quite literally a TV that's playing that. A little context on how my setup works. Yeah. So, a little more context on how my setup works is that I have actually, kind of redone this whole... I know it looks like I'm sitting in the same place, and that's because I am. But, my monitors are now on these nice monitor stands. This is the computer that actually has all the stuff happening on it. You can tell that it works because the light is on. I think light right there. But this computer is the one where everything is actually happening. This computer, not to be confused with the one underneath it, which is broken and doesn't work, even though it's like almost the same model. Sad story, I wanted to fix this one, so I figured if I bought one that was the same, I could swap the batteries out, because the problem was there was a BIOS bug that prevented it from charging. So I figured if I swap the battery for one that's charged, I'll have enough charge to fix the BIOS, and then it'll charge the original again, and that'll be good. And I bought the next newest one, and it turns out that the batteries are the same, but the connectors are different. They're all the same leads, but the connector that puts the leads onto the motherboard is literally a different connector. So that's kind of dumb. Anyway, this is my main screen that you can see I'm streaming off of, and then my YouTube analytics, and then that's out of the way. I have my OBS screen, and you can see our CPU usage is super high. And there is also a random Windows. I've been getting into, or I found that I finally took the plunge and I tried looking up a Windows LTSC, and it's really great. It's like exactly what you wish Windows were. There is nothing installed out of the box besides Microsoft Edge, which is still annoying and everything, but like, it's one thing. It's literally just Edge, and then all of the Windows settings apps that are already in there, because Windows has like a million different apps for settings, because it's Windows and it's nasty like that. But yeah, it's like really, really pretty usable, and I guess I didn't explain that right now that well. So the reason I'm laggy is because the computer running this stuff, the computer on which the desktop, how do I explain this? All of the monitors are plugged into a Windows computer. I am running this desktop to that over VNC. The idea is that I have one computer, one machine into which all of my screens around the apartment are plugged, and then it just has like permanent VNC windows opening up to whatever device that I want to run stuff off of. And that has a few advantages, such as you can't see it here. Oh, you can't see it. That's kind of stupid. Alright, I'll just have to show you then. So, keep in mind this is flipped, because cameras are stupid. And it's really messing with my sense of scale. Yeah. There we go. Okay. So if I press the Windows key, it is Windows on top of Linux there, and that is precisely why that is. And this has the benefit that you can move Windows off of the Windows system between. Hey, welcome to the stream. The reason I'm laggy, I'm just explaining it, is because all of this is running over Wi-Fi VNC connection. The router's right here in the corner. The two computers are like 2 inches away from each other in physical space, but it's never going to be quite as good. I'm actually really happy with the performance here. I spent a couple days trying to get it to actually be usable, and it is. But not when OBS is in the mix, apparently. So, yeah. That's where we are. Anyway, welcome to the stream. Also, this is Xorg again, because Wayland just was not... Okay, so... the way that Wayland works over VNC is it doesn't, unless you have it open on the physical device too, in which case you have to have the same monitor configuration, which defeats the purpose of my monitors, my whole display setup here, of having all the displays be remote displays. So that wasn't working, so I decided to just have this Xorg, and we are using StumpWM. You can see I've got the configuration file open here, and I have Slime open, and I've killed the window manager by accident and had to restart it a few times. There's some odd stuff going on with how my my X setup works, because it's not the normal Xorg server, it's XVNC. So the Arch version of OBS wasn't working. The Ubuntu version of OBS is what I'm streaming off of now. So if any of my settings are different, one of those things is probably why. Right, the thumbnail of the stream is probably still the New Year, New Me chess stream, but the reason for that is that I am unable to change it in StumpWM because it doesn't know how to deal with the GTK file picker pop-up window that Firefox opens. Maybe if we use Brave again. I've been trying to switch to Firefox for the new year. I haven't really put any effort into trying to standardize my config across devices. I figure I can do that later, you know. I did have a Firefox account at one point, and I probably used the same password for it that I do for everything else. But that's not the point. Nothing's the point. The point is, we're here, we're using StumpWM. How bad is my lag? Like if I clap. Do you actually see the frame where I clap, or do you just see the in-between frames? If I do this, how much does it change versus if I just put my hand in front of my face and like no pixels move? Like, I genuinely wonder, how different is it? I'm not seeing any change. It seems like everything just kind of sucks uniformly, which is a thing. Yeah. So I want to retire this computer pretty soon, because however many things it can do isn't enough. The computer that's playing the breakcore through this TV that's above me is actually also now my file server. And so that's been pretty nice. What am I trying to say? What I'm trying to say is my setup's jank, but it's jank in a slightly better thought out way, and this is one of the things that I'm going to have to work out how to get right later, or possibly not bother ever. I don't know. There's definitely a better way to have a streaming setup and have a local remote desktop setup. The other reason that I switched to this remote setup is because of this damn what do you call this? USB docking station with PD pass-through. Yeah, that. Whatever that is. It's a Thunderbolt or USB-C dock. It was originally made for the 2016 MacBook Pros when they started being Thunderbolt instead of all of the other connectors they used to have. And it held up quite well for quite a long time, and up until very recently I was using it to drive all of these displays, but when I would reboot it wouldn't see one of them, and it just got kind of nasty to keep track of, and so I kind of gave up. Especially because you need another adapter off of your adapter. It gets to be a lot. So now what I've got, paying attention to the box of electronics now, is I've got everything comes through this USB hub here. We have it plugs into the computer here, it comes around, power in, Ethernet, which I'm not using, SD cards I'm not using. Oh, it has another C port. I could daisy chain these. I really don't want to. That's stupid. I shouldn't do that. But it is an option. 3 USB ports. One of them with power, with extra power. I'm using this for keyboard and mouse. I did Sharpie on these, what do you call them? Which one is keyboard and which one is mouse, because otherwise I wouldn't remember. Then I have HDMI, and VGA going to the different displays, respectively. And that's just what I got going on. Welcome to the stream, everyone who's just joining us. I haven't actually gotten to it yet. I was just trying to explain my setup and why my video is going to be super duper laggy going forward for a bit here. Probably the entire stream, honestly. Right, let's get on to it. StumpWM is a window manager written and configured in Common Lisp. It is not the only one written and configured in Common Lisp, but it was the one that was easiest to install, and it's the one I thought of when I decided to do this. Let me walk you through everything already in my config so far. We load Swank, which is very simply the way that you interface with a Common Lisp application while it's running. Welcome to the stream, by the way. We're just getting into it. Pay no attention to the lag unless you know why it's there. The lag is also on my end, by the way. I'm basically completely saturating. Honestly, it's probably my Wi-Fi router that's the bottleneck at this point. Because the outbound connection isn't that much, but there's a lot of internal traffic. I'm basically streaming my entire 3 monitors here between 2 computers locally. So, right, anyway. We load Swank and we start it so that we can do slime stuff like this. This window here is slime, and that is how I am changing and you configure it like Emacs, where you can just evaluate stuff and it'll do it instantly. Like, for example, if I want to refresh my background, I can just evaluate this and give it a moment, and our background will change to be that. Something else, something slightly different. And if we do it again, it will still take a long time, and the lag is getting worse because I am quite literally just invoking an image magic command in the background. Okay, I don't like that one. This is a problem. I made this background utility a while back. I think I actually streamed part of it. Okay, whatever. Anyway, this background utility, it puts Hyperland on there, and it puts an anime girl, which is cut off by the chat, and it says the Hyperland message at the bottom, which, because I don't have Hyperland, it just says Hyperland isn't running, bro. What are you doing? So, yeah, I want to work through each of these things line by line and just go over what they do, because this is what a couple days of config building got me. So we load Swank and we start it. In package StumpWM user. Now, packages are something in Common Lisp that confused me when I was doing the Practical Common Lisp stream series a while back. I never got to them, mostly because the stuff that was happening was just the same as Emacs Lisp, so I didn't really want to bother. I should get back to that, but I'm also not going to. Yeah. Basically, as far as I can tell, the way packages work in Common Lisp is you want to be in them because they enable you to do things without calling this prefix, which ends with a colon. Like, you'll notice QL quick load. If I were in package QL, I could just write quick load, but I'm not, so I can't. And I have to write QL colon quick load. And the same thing for Swank. So putting in package StumpWM user near the top of the file just makes it so everything else that follows... I don't know why I right click and drag there. Makes it so everything else that you run, if you're doing a function that needs to be, that's only available in the StumpWM package, say run shell command, you don't have to worry about any of that stuff. Because otherwise that would be a pretty long prefix, which is a problem in eLisp too. The function names get quite long. But Common Lisp, the way that you deal with that is by putting things in packages, and this is the package that we're using. I probably didn't need to capitalize this because I'm not quite sure how case sensitivity works in Common Lisp, but things that aren't literal strings seem to get converted to all caps inside of these things. Like, I typed in the REPL list screens lowercase, and it put them in uppercase. Right. So now we run the shell command, xset root cursor name left pointer, and that means that the default mouse is a pointer instead of that ugly X. And we run shell command hyperchain and nitrogen restore, which sets my wallpaper. I did a stream about that a while back. Next, okay, the font. So you'll notice when I mouse over another window, it'll say current frame on it. That font is the same font that I'm using in Emacs. It's Meslo Nerd Font. And in order to get it working, it was pretty difficult. And I ended up having to beg someone on Mastodon for help with it, which they did, thankfully. So the way that fonts... So StumpWM uses the Xorg default font, which is bitmapped, and it supposedly can use fonts the same way that like your XVT or Xterm uses fonts, but it doesn't. It doesn't work. You can't just convert a TrueType font into a bitmap font and then make it work with StumpWM. You should be able to. Everything I saw says you can, but it doesn't work. It doesn't happen. I couldn't make it do it. So, fuck that. Instead, we have to use TrueType fonts, which are better anyway, because they're, like, each letter is drawn as a vector, which means that you can have quality to your fonts. I don't want to get into fonts. There's tons of stuff on fonts you can look up. Basically, you want everything to use TrueType fonts. Emacs uses TrueType fonts, which is a good thing. But StumpWM does not, out of the box. There has been, and still kind of is, a module for it, which you can load with load module. This is in the StumpWM user package. That took me a while to figure out. The TTF fonts module. Now I had to work out. I wanted to put my modules in a better folder that's like more aesthetically pleasing, but it wasn't working out. Bye from the stream, by the way. I noticed our viewers dropped off. Maybe they didn't. I don't know. Whatever. It's fine. I don't care. I do care. I crave attention or something. I don't... You know, they say people just do things for attention, but I don't think that's true. I don't know why I do things. So we have to load the TrueType library. The problem is the Common Lisp TrueType library is deprecated and it's removed from the current version of QuickLisp or ASDIF or whatever it is. The module system for the language no longer includes the package that we need to draw fonts. So you have to like clone the repo manually and you have to download a version a fork that works to a directory and load it, and then load that. You have to load the dependency first and then load the thing, and then add your font directory to this fontders variable, CLX TrueType fontders, and then it works. And then you only have to run this once, which is why I have it commented out. But XFT cache fonts, we can run it again. You can run it whenever you want to, but if you run it on every startup, it's going to be slow and unnecessary. So probably don't do that. Yeah, that's fine. And now that we've done that, we can finally set font to a new instance of our font, which just takes a nice plist here. Like that. Now onto the mode line. You may notice that there is no mode line at the top of the screen here. I can fix that by just evaluating this line, and now I have a mode line at the top of this screen. I have not quite gotten to the point of hard-coding which screen to put a mode line on. I might prefer all of them. I wonder if the Common Lisp version of MapCar takes, yeah. So a little bit of, ow. A little bit of terminology here. Current screen, a screen is the whole thing. It's the continuum that you can drag your mouse across, basically, is how I like to think of it. That's the X screen as well. Whereas a head is the physical monitor, or a head is the internal representation of a physical monitor. There are multiple heads on the screen. There's usually only one screen consisting of multiple heads. And yeah, we can actually get, I can show you all the heads by just evaluating this. You can see that there are 3, and the numbers there tell you the position and the size of my monitors. So, that's the thing. This mode line timeout here that I have set is just for updates, like redraws of it. I like to set all of my redraws to 0.7 seconds because it's a little faster. Has StumpWM good documentation? That's a really good question. I am looking at the manual on my other display. It seems to have alright documentation. Googling stuff is like less good, I think, than some other things, but it's January 12th, 2017 was the last time the documentation was updated on stumpwm.github.io. But you know, there is absolutely what happens if I do that? That doesn't work. Okay. Oh no, I put it on a different... Hang on. There we go. No. No. So, if I just very quickly move the documentation over to here instead of to where the chat is. Hang on. Okay. Yeah. Chat got moved to like right where the blind spot is, where my camera sits, so I had to move it to see if there was any more messages. Anyway, this is the StumpWM documentation. If we just go to the top, it's a full-on manual here. There's lots of stuff. I haven't gotten far into it to know if the stuff is like good. Anyway, here's how you swap 2 windows. You go Control-T, then X, then right to switch it with the window on the right. And then if I want to switch this window with my chat, which is just off of the screen, I would do Control-T, X, right again. Oh no. Control T N switches windows. I'm just closing some old tabs because anything to help. So the way that the key bindings work in StumpWM is more similar to Emacs or like Tmux than to other window managers like Awesome or Xmonad that you might be familiar with. It doesn't use the super key, at least by default. Like, you can change all of these key bindings, of course. It's all configurable. It's all made out of configuration. But the default binding is Control T, and if I do Control T question mark, it'll actually show us all of the different key bindings, or at least a lot of them. As many as it wants to fit, I guess. Like if I do Control T plus, that completely wrecks the entire window layout. So then I would have to go Control T R and then press right a bunch of times. And if I hold right down, it will actually do some weird sticky keys shit, where it just keeps doing it until I like break the computer out of the loop. Anyway, and then you press enter to complete the resize, and it tells you resize complete on the side there. So it's actually like pretty cool. You can see like a list, like a tabs list here, and if I click on them, it doesn't do anything because we haven't set that up yet. But it is like a mode line here. Now default refers to N. Yeah. Refers to a thing. Anyway, what do I want to say? Yeah. What does loadrc do? I forgot what loadrc... Oh, loadrc is a very useful command. It just reloads this entire config file. It's the same as like what eval buffer does, but well, specifically for the file. Wait, what if I slime... Wait, hang on, what does K do? Load the StumpWMRC file, or reload it, yeah. So if I just load RC here, it will do all of this stuff once more. Reloading Swank, which I don't know that I needed to do, but oh well. It's fine, can't hurt, probably. I mean, it does hurt. And you can also see my wallpaper change just slightly. But yeah, I'd say the documentation, it seems alright. Customize. Okay, there's different wikis. There's a wiki on GitHub, and there's a wiki... There's just like a github.com wiki, and there's a github.io wiki. And those are different, because of course they are. I'm looking for... What do I want to... Oh, yeah, I want to change the color here. I guess. So we can check out this person's init file on GitHub, and where is the... Oh. See, everyone else is using a directory like they're supposed to, and I'm just here with my dot file like a pleb, because the first thing I said to put it in this file, and now everything else is how it is. Oh. Wait. Okay, I'm gonna copy and paste this this text from here, and you're gonna... If you heard my explanation about fonts earlier, you're gonna think this is so stupid. because this is what they've got. Oh, okay. That doesn't work. StumpWM it. Oh, okay. Oh. Okay, never mind. That doesn't work. I think that's just something specific to their configuration. That was good. I thought I had wasted hours trying to get the fonts to work and actually done it when there was an easier way to just use it bitmapped. Let's check out. That's it. Config. Yeah. Okay. The thing with Lisp is it's to some degree self-documenting, so you want to be able to find the variable without like looking for it. So if I wanted to slime apropos and get me a color, there are colors: hidden window color, mode line background color, text color, adjust color. That's a function. This is only used when what? Okay, hang on. I gotta see this now. Set, focus, color. Red? Does red work? Can I just do that? There it goes. It has to refresh. Border? Yeah. Okay. Set F. I'll just keep using set F. You know, coming from Emacs, we always use set Q, but whatever. Yes, max size. Hang on. Normal border width. Yeah. Let's set the normal border width to like 2, maybe? And then if we mouse over a different window, that doesn't actually change it. Set. Normal border width. Max size border width, yeah. Set that at 2 as well. Go to a different window, come back. Okay, everything else is behaving normally with these little red borders, but this one for some reason still has big borders on the sides and on the top and bottom too. I don't know why that is that. I don't know why that is. What if we make it like, hang on. We're gonna load this. Error loading, yeah, it is. Of course, it's already in use. How about we Control T, S, close that window, And then we, it's even bigger. What the frick is going on? Okay, help me. How do I... delete the window? Is it just Control TK? I think it is just Control TK. Okay, so I go over here and I Control TK. No. I don't want to kill Emacs, I just want to kill the... Control T... What are we doing? How do we... What I want to do is close this window, but like visually, and then reopen it. Okay, Control T R should do it. No. Control T S. Go over here. Control T R. No. Control T S. Maybe if I go over here. Control T R. No. Okay. Why is the borders not shifting? Is it because... frame resize pixel-wise? Okay. Now, Control T, S. Control T, capital S. And look at that, we have different... So a frame is like a pane. Oh. Wait, what's happening? What is G select? Oh, I don't know what those do. It doesn't matter, I guess. Yeah, R. Oh, dash. Control T dash. Control T R. Control T R. And then we Control T N to pull in that Emacs window, and it still has the big borders on the sides. Okay, I am just like super confused because everything else was working. I'm not sure what that did that. But also if I close Emacs, something might break, so I don't want to do that, just in case. Anyway, we did get border color fixed, and border width mostly fixed. I like that. The other thing is this mode line format. There is a CPU module you can get, but it breaks. It makes everything die and crash and burn, and nah, actually it's not that bad. You just don't have a window manager for a little bit. It's not the end of the world. And that's because the window manager isn't the root of the X session, technically, because my setup is weird, as I mentioned far earlier. Is anyone even watching this? Go back to my page. Apparently they are, somehow. Even with the... even with everything. Thanks, everybody. I really appreciate it. You know, I only come on here every now and then, and I don't really have anything to say when I do, but it is really nice to know that I'm only alone from my own perspective. Alright. So, screen is everything. A head is a monitor. And a frame is a pane on a monitor. In which you would have an X window. For example, this Emacs, which consists of two Emacs windows, which are like panes and anything else, but are like frames in StumpWM. StumpWM doesn't have windows. It has frames, which are actually the same. No. All of these words mean different things, but they all mean the same things as each other in different contexts, which is why it's weird. I gotta take some water. You know, water... It's often said that water is underrated, and it may even be true that water being underrated is an overrated concept, but it is true. Water is pretty good, and it's super easy to just not remember that at any given time. Also, hot tip, if you live near a grocery store, they are going to have candy cane boxes for like $1 for like 20 candy canes. 12 candy canes, which is a great deal if you kind of like candy canes. And after, yeah, like, up until probably February, they'll have just candy canes. And they're not even all broken, which is kind of disappointing. I always feel like, you know, I like broken candy canes because it's satisfying to get to the part where it's broken, to figure out, like, how it broke that way in shipping. I'm rambling. Let's listen to music for a bit. Alright, I know why you're all here. You're all here to see some window manager stuff. Actually, I don't know why. Why are you here? Anyway, if we remove the C, the %C from CPU, because the CPU module isn't loaded, we do have to re-enable the mode line to update the format. There we go. You might not have seen, but it did actually disappear. There are different ways you can... let's actually... okay. We can indeed inspect this symbol. That's really nice. Let's... make it big. Special variable. How special are we talking? This is a list where each element may be a string, a symbol, or a list. For a symbol, its value is used. Right, so that's like if you got a variable there. For, okay, there's :eval, so it's sort of like your, it's sort of like your Emacs mode line as well, where it's got evals. And if it's a string, the string is printed with formatting options. These formatting options are always what get to me. I absolutely hate them, but I also think they're super useful. Hey, when I said I was actually going to get into the window manager again, someone left. Why do y'all watch me? So, %W. There's a window format. Yeah, so this is what I was talking about, Lindgren and chat, if you're still here. Statistically, probably not. I mean, there's a 50-50 chance. But yeah. Common Lisp is kind of self-documenting if they do it right, so if you've got Slime installed in your Emacs, you can just look up the variable and figure out what it does, because it'll tell you how this format string works. So %W, which I do have in this, is all of the windows, which you can see at the top there, and if I switch to it, it'll say something different. So that's the thing. Yeah, like there, or there, or there, again. %N is the group name, which in this case is default. Up here, it's %N. %U is urgent windows. I don't care about that right now. Window urgency is not something that I build into my configs. I figure if it's urgent, if it's actually urgent, I'll look for it and find it, and if it's not actually urgent, then I don't need to be bothered by it. %V Wait, that works the same way as window format. So what's the difference between %W and %V? I'm curious now. If we just reset this and then update the mode line, how's that any oh. The spacing is different. Okay. The spacing is a little bit different. So yeah, if we refresh this, maybe the spacing isn't different, I'm just blind. Take me to the bedpost. Okay, and %D is the time. Wait, that's it? Those are like all of the things. A number of modules have been written that extends the possible formatting strings. See their documentation for details. Okay, I kind of wanted a CPU module in there, but also that would break things, and I do have Task Manager open on the other window, or GNOME System Monitor, whatever it's called. Open on the other window. I haven't got around to switching this one to BTOP yet, partially because BTOP uses a lot of CPU, because it's running in a terminal and updating super quickly. Or if you don't update it super quickly, then it's just maddeningly slow. There is really something to be said for a simple GUI app. Right, now we can customize the colors of the mode line, but I actually kind of like how it is. It feels like it's not focused, but like it is there. It's a thing. How much time left on this mix is there? I feel like we're getting close to the end. There's like 5-6 minutes left. Really? That is not how progress works. Oh no. Okay, I just started reading the comments for the music mix video that I'm using, and someone said that they had their stream flagged for it, so whoops! Whoops! Oh well. It's fine, it doesn't matter. I am running out of steam, though. I know we didn't really do much, but whatever. This is StumpWM. It's a window manager. It works, kinda. It seems to do things. I don't really have a review yet. It's faster than the XWM for certain. I'm a little bit less familiar with the key binding, so that slows me down a lot. But it is theoretically pretty good. And maybe even in actuality pretty good. I do have to figure out how to do floating windows. That's probably a next time thing, though. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching, and goodbye.